Okay, pleasure morning. Greetings, my students. Welcome to our lecture. And we will talk about the lesson 2, which is titled Suprasegmental Features. Okay, so we will talk about what are the features of the so-called suprasegmentals. Okay, the suprasegmentals, as defined here, features ko nun siya are the elements of speech that affect the entire syllables, words, or phrases rather than individual sounds. So obviously, we talked about the technicalities of linguistics, specifically under phonetics and phonology, those symbols and those sounds, okay? And unsay gi-represent ng each symbol, what the symbol represents. And each symbol has a distinct, unique sound as an equivalent, right? But kato nga mga technicalities, those are called segmentals, okay? Those can really affect and change the language, specifically the meaning. But in here, suprasegmentals, we will talk about the change of meaning without even interfering the technicalities of language. What do I mean by that? Dili na ta mo hilabot sa sounds, dili na to i-focus ang sounds and symbols, but rather we focus on the other elements, no? Other elements that make up the entire meaning or the mood of what you say. So suprasegmentals, it includes your pitch, no? It refers to the perceived frequency, meaning to say, ang kakusgon or kahinayon sa sound. Ang human sound na to, pag istorya kita, it has a certain pitch, okay? It has a certain sound. Kung kusog ba imong tingog, or kung hinay imong tingog. If your voice is too loud when you speak something, and if your voice is too low, or if your voice is in moderate or a neutral level. So that is what we call pitch, no? The frequency of a sound. Di ba pag frequency, unsa gyud ka kusgon and kahinayon. Okay, that's pitch. Playing an important role in conveying meaning through intonation and tone. So under the tone nga concept, mao na mabagta nato si pitch. Each tone daw, atong mga tono, na daw specific na pitch or specific nga designated point of the loudness of our voice or our phone. Okay? Now under this suprasegmentals, we have the tone. The tone is the quality or mood of your voice. This talks about the entirety of what you say. Kung ganag yun ang imong pagkasulti, then the quality of the tone is good. Okay? It depends on your mood. Pag suko ang tao, dili yun maayo ang tono sa iyang pagstorya. Okay? It affects the quality of our speech. It affects the quality of our meaning and the quality of our voice. If your tone is good, maybe you are speaking calmly. If your tone is pleasant, maybe you are speaking at a specific purpose good. Depende sa imong tono. Di ba sa kanta na atay tone nga giagad. It's either the tone is unsa pa ni met or not. Okay? So ang tono, the quality, remember ha ang clue, quality or mood of your voice. The rate here refers to the number of syllables uttered per unit of time. Di man ilang kung pila gyud ka syllables ang na-utter sa isa ka speech, sa isa ka articulation, sa isa ka pronunciation or enunciation of the words. It is affected by both stress and phasing patterns. So this talks about how frequent the syllables are present sa ato ang sentence or sa ato ang paragraph or to the entirety of our speech. It is genuinely concerned with the numbers of syllables present or uttered or na istorya nato per unit of time. For example, I am saying or pronouncing this word, no? Or ang word nga rate, no? Kung pila ka, for example na lang kaning resonance. Resonance, pila ka syllables diha. Kung imo nang bilangon, if you count the syllables, that talks about the rate. Okay? If you count each syllable or pila ka syllable sa kaning mga words, you are referring to rate. Okay? Next is what we call resonance. This is something to do with the vibration or reverberation, no? Ang answer back ng pag-vibrate. Objects have frequencies that they prefer to vibrate at. If you try to vibrate it at a different frequency, I'm talking about your voice, of course, the vibrations will be dampened and eventually die out. If you try to vibrate it at its preferred frequency, the vibrations will be reinforced and the object will resonate. That's the point there, class. The sound will resonate. It will surely come back to you if you know the resonance. For example, this is very common among singers. If your voice has no resonance at all, your voice flown into something that is very useless, no? Into some place nga dili na gyud mo balik ang imong boses. For example, the voice nga akong gisulti karon, it has no resonance at all because there's no reverberation, walay echo nga mabati nimo. That's the point there. Resonance deals with the echo or the object or the sound comes back, no? Reverberation ang tawag ana. Or in other words, resonance. Okay? Some examples of resonance, the note you get when you blow into a half full beer bottle. Okay? Sa botilya ng beer daw, half full beer, meaning katunga lang ang luon, dili siya full. If you try to blow the beer, you will actually hear the reverberations or the resonance. Di mo ang mutaghoy siyang balik. Okay, that's the point of resonance. The voice or the sound will reverberate or will come back. The vibration in the sounding board of a violin. So naagihapoy reverberation if you try to notice that way. So that's resonance, okay? This one is very crucial, intonation. Intonation, it is the melodic pattern of an utterance, meaning to say, it is how we conduct our tone when we speak. Excuse me. Okay, when we speak daw, class, we are obliged to use the appropriate intonation. Okay, it tells again ang tono, ang tone. It tells the quality of our mood, of our voice. Okay, and it has something to do definitely with intonation, because intonation, it is the melodic pattern of an utterance. Okay, it is a pattern na composition of different tones results into intonation. The intonation of how you read this sentence, okay, the intonation of how you read this paragraph. Unsay mo intonation, meaning to say unsay tono nimo in general sa pagbasa ani ng mga words. Okay, it conveys differences of expressive meaning, surprise, anger, or delight. Depende sa imong intonation, depende sa imong tono, no? It can prove or express or showcase your emotions, your mood. Either you're surprised, you're angry, or you're delightful. You're delighted by something, no? And it can also serve a grammatical function. In many languages, including English, intonation distinguishes one type of phrase or sentence from another. So there is what we call tone over the word that we say. The different intonations a person can use to say. For example, the cup of water is over there. Demonstrate this grammatical function. When a person begins with a medium pitch, kung isulti daw nimo ni nga example with a medium pitch, meaning to say sa medium, neutral lang. Dili kayo tuda, it's not very loud, it's not very low frequency either, no? Demonstrate this grammatical function. When a person begins with a medium pitch and ends with a lower tone, naa siya gitawag na falling intonation. Pababa ang imong tono. For example, the cup of water is over there. This sentence is a simple assertion. Assert lang ka nga the cup of water is over there. You are just informing. But when a person uses a rising intonation, meaning to say the pitch or the loudness of the voice as defined earlier, the pitch there is high final pitch. It is a question. For example, from the medium pitch ng ani, the cup of water is over there. Okay, simple statement lang. On grammatical function, falling intonation, and at the same time, you're just demonstrating and you are just stating something, that the cup of water is actually over there. Okay? The cup of water is over there. Simple lang. Nagpasabot lang ka na ang cup of water over there. Okay? But if a rising intonation ang gamiton, this example will sound like the cup of water is over there. Okay? High final pitch. It is a question, especially if there is a grammatical concern. If ibaylo nimo ang mga words, it will actually form a question. Sa high final pitch, let's try it very clearly this time. The cup of water is over there. That is the medium pitch, okay? The falling intonation. But if you say, the cup of water is over there, mo siya question na, okay? It is more like a question. And last, second to the last rather, concept is stress. And if intonation is concerning about our tone, this one also involves putting more emphasis. What we mean by emphasis, ang atong pagbutang ng unsa pa ni kung sa Bisaya pa pinagrabig yun ang pagkaistorya sa anong word. Okay? It involves putting more emphasis. You emphasize the word by, let's say, exaggerating, not exaggerating, but how do I put this? Murag gi-emphasize yun nimo pagsulti, okay? On a word or sentence. That's your stress. For example, the stress of my name na hindi, ako na lang name. Keanu, no? Keanu, the stress is right here, okay? The emphasis of the word, if you try to pronounce my name, is Keanu, okay? Keanu, Keanu. Dili dapat kung Keanu, dili dapat. If you pronounce it as Keanu, the stress is right here. Keanu, ingana ang pagkasulti pagjaon diri ang stress. But if you put the stress right here, Keanu, okay? Keanu, that's the proper emphasis on the word, okay? That deals with the concept of stress. Okay. Last concept is emphasis, okay? Emphasis helps you capture your audience's attention, reinforce your main points, or create a memorable impression. To emphasize key words, you can use different techniques, such as changing your volume, pitch, speed, or tone. For example, you can speak louder, higher, slower, or softer to make a word stand out. For example, if you try to emphasize a word in the sentence, you want to catch the audience, you want to catch the word here is audience attention. For example, here, ay nga sentence, ato example, okay? Emphasis helps you capture your audience's attention. Okay? Now notice ninyo, helps you capture your audience's attention. I tend to make the word attention slower there to emphasize the word attention. Okay? For example, I can also speak louder, higher, just like what I did, and slower. Okay? Again, let's apply the louder type. Gusto na ako i-emphasize sa akong audience nga dapat makuha gyud ang kaninga word sa attention. Okay? Emphasis helps you capture your audience's attention. Okay? Now I'm using this one, the louder mechanism or characteristic of the emphasis, such as I'm making the word louder. I'm speaking the word louder. And higher. Of course, you tend to make your pitch higher if you try to emphasize any word or any sentence within a paragraph or a composition. Okay? You can also make it softer. For example, it helps you capture your audience's attention. Okay? And that way, you can still emphasize something in your speech. Okay? So, I guess that's all for our meeting today. While I am preparing my... yes, naka-prepare na di ako atong assessment. Supposedly, mag-oral recitation ta karon, but sa kadaghan ninyo nga estudyante, I cannot cater with just 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay? So maybe next time mag-oral kita. But as an alternative, I have an alternative here. I have posted 20 item quiz. 20 item quiz. So yes.
Sir,
Yes.
may iba na sir, magmaya mo kasi sir, accept
Ay, okay. And then dyan may some recorded na discussion. They can watch the recorded discussion man sab. That's the purpose of this one. Okay? You can tell them na lang kay I cannot switch screens if I'm discussing kay na ako sa window ng ng Microsoft. Okay? Lisod kayo mag-switch tab and then dagan kayo kong tab in here. But naa may mga students kung wala kasulod, 7 of them. It's too late naman sab, no? Just tell them to watch the discussion na lang. Okay? Tapos ang quiz na ako i-post ko man, it's not related to this discussion. Okay? It's more on phonetics and phonology. Again, I posted, it's already open, I believe. It's already available sa inyong Flair. You can take the quiz right from 11:30 to 1 p.m. Okay? 20 item quiz. Okay? So I hope that you learned something today. If you don't have further questions, you can leave the meeting and goodbye and God bless. Bye, everyone.
Sir.